This is BBC WM Sunday Breakfast, and I'm Llewela Bailey. It's now 7:49, time for a catch-up on the papers. And joining me in the studio now is, you're a public speaker, you're a broadcaster, you're now an author, aren't you? We're going to be hearing about that, Alex. Alex Manners, welcome.
Well, thank you. I'm really pleased to be on this morning.
Well, right. You've been looking at the papers. What have you got for us, Alex?
Well, the first story I've got is about the Pope.
Yeah.
And it's all about his apology for the child abuse scandal that's been happening recently.
Yeah.
And it says here that the Pope arrived in Ireland for a 2-day visit yesterday and apologised for the Catholic Church's failure to address the child's sex abuse. Pope Francis, the Pope, said he cannot fail to acknowledge the grave scandal and described it as a source of pain and shame.
And is in that all the newspapers at the moment?
Yes,
or?
that's in the Sunday, on the front pages of the Sunday Telegraph, and I know it's on the front pages of one or two other newspapers as well.
Yeah, pretty big story, isn't it? First papal visit in Ireland in 40 years.
Yes.
And certainly a different visit this time from the last one. I think I quoted at the top of the programme that there was something like 1.25 million people in Dublin for Mass with Pope John Paul II, and this time only 500,000 are expected. So says something, doesn't it, about falling church attendance?
Yes, it probably wasn't exactly what he expected when he went over to Ireland, but these things, I guess, have to be addressed.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we're going to get all glittery and all show busy. Strictly Come Dancing.
Yes. Well, it's a show I watch avidly.
Do you? Well, you would do. I must just tell everyone, just to remind Alex, you love, don't you, bright colours?
Love them. Absolutely love
just
bright colours.
Just describe what you've got on today.
So I've got a pair of Royal and Awesome golf trousers on, which are like pink and purple and white, like sort of diamonds.
Nice.
And then a bright pink shirt.
Yep.
As well, so I'm quite bright today.
Well, as you came in today, I said, I thought you were going to dress up.
To be honest, I could have probably dressed slightly brighter. But
I have. I've seen you. You love, don't you? You've got orange glasses on. Right, come on, Strictly Come Dancing. What's happened there?
Well, in the Mirror, there's an article about the Strictly Come Dancing, the fees that they're paying for celebrities, and apparently the fees are going down for how much they're paying for the celebrities, and a lot of people are worried that they're going to be attracting Z-list celebrities as opposed to celebrities that are of a higher profile. Onto the show.
Because who have they got at the moment? Do you know? Because I must admit, I don't really follow it.
They've got a few people at the moment. They've got a YouTuber who's on the show. I can't remember who else they've got. They've announced the lineup now of everyone.
It's very memorable, isn't it? We can't remember.
No. Oh, they've got Katie Piper.
Yes, I know. I've heard of Katie Piper.
Katie Piper.
Yeah.
Who had the horrific accident.
And what do you like about it?
To be honest, ever since I've started watching the show about 5 or 6 years ago, I've just loved all the colourful outfits they wear, the dancing. My grandma always used to watch it, so I guess she sort of got me into watching it. And I just absolutely love all the bright colours, and it's something that I definitely would love to go on.
They are. Have you seen the dresses in the reception area here?
Yes, I've seen the one that there's a dress for Katie Derham.
Oh, beautiful,
aren't
they? But they're so tiny.
Really
so
are.
Tiny, so lovely. Now, this is something I know you wanted to mention. Something I certainly it's something that I think is very, very interesting, very topical, and that's bike helmets, isn't it? They're now thinking of making them compulsory.
Yes, there's an article in the Sunday Times on the front page from the Tour de France, the recent Tour de France winner Geraint Thomas, and he's basically saying that helmets should be made compulsory because there's a lot of accidents that could be prevented. Well,
you still see people cycling without helmets, and I just find it unbelievable.
Yeah, I see a lot of people round where I live, especially some of them even cycle. I've seen people cycling on the pavements when there's being pedestrian, so it's quite a dangerous thing, especially if you don't wear a helmet.
Yeah.
And some of the speeds that they go at along the roads, they look like they're going about 30.
Well, if they hit somebody, they could kill them.
So
yeah, no, but it's about time, really, the bike helmets. I think you do see more people, but I mean, there is that odd one, isn't there, that you see riding along with not a care in the world.
No, and I think it's a really brilliant thing to be able to do, to be able to cycle to work and cycle, because it's such a positive activity for your health. And
do you cycle?
I don't actually. I haven't really cycled since I was in primary school. There's an article in the Sunday Express about heading football and why football will be forced to restrict or even ban, the heading of football in games. And there's a picture of Jeff Astle, the former West Brom player, and he apparently died of heading the ball back when he used to play in the 60s. And there's been a huge campaign called Justice for Jeff that's been out for a number of years. And I just think it's something that, a lot of players probably did after playing football, especially in the 50s and the 60s when the balls were a lot heavier. They probably did occur a lot of injuries.
Well, yes. I know this campaign's been going on for quite a long time, so let's hope something comes of it, because, as you say, it's like a brick, isn't it, when you think of the weight and the speed that a ball is going at.
The newer ones are bad enough, I think, hard enough, but the older ones would have been much, much harder.